how do you, so you ByteSpeed, how do you engage your customers prior to that decision-making process, right? So are you involved from kind of day one on the architectural side, determining capability, process modeling, application rationalization, and defining business requirements prior to getting into the tech that you're going to offer? So this is a particular area of focus for this individual. So I'm very curious to see if we can give this person like a good answer.
I have a perfect example. Salesman calls me this morning. Hey, I got this customer on the phone. Hey, I want you to talk to him. He's got this use case. You know, please point him in the right direction. Let's start and give him a quote and let's start there. And that's really the personal experience you're going to get working with a company like ByteSpeed. It's not going to be just this web thing you'll fill out. You'll get an email. Oh, here's your quote. You're going to be able to talk to somebody, and we're going to be able to work with you to figure out what is the best machine for you. So it's going to be catered to exactly your needs and fit your budget, your needs, hopefully to a T, and you're going to have that great service and support behind all that. And I'm sure Robert has very similar examples as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the biggest part, right? I think that's the value add, that when you look for a reseller, you want a value added reseller. You want a VAR, because then you can call and you can say, this is what we're looking at doing. This is what we need to accomplish. We'd really like to budget this out to make it last us 5 years. And then you can kind of have that back and forth discussion with real people and get to that point where you have the perfect solution for you. And that's why we're a custom shop, that you don't just have one or two different options that you can pick off a shelf. It's really good to have those discussions up front and then make sure that you understand the quote once you do get it, and you're comparing apples to apples with your other quotes, and you're really getting what you pay for and getting into something that's the best value for you, total cost of ownership. Okay,
you said something and it triggered me a little, because I've been having this conversation right now. So I've made it very clear I'm buying a new machine, and I was going to do it January, February, but then this whole pandemic situation went down, and I thought maybe I'd chill out. So I chilled out for a bit, and things look like they're kind of going to be okay. So I'm back in the hot seat and I'm ready to buy. So I've spec'd out this machine, and I shared it with a buddy of mine, and he told me that I don't need a new i, that my existing i7 6700K is going to be more than sufficient. And then when I went to dig into like what separates the new eyes from the old eyes, I really wasn't able to answer that question. And I was wondering if you might have some perspective for me. And this is legit a personal question, because I need to know, because I've got a credit card and I just want to make it hot. All right.
Take my money.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the actual lines, right, are pretty muddy, because you're getting so much value. And perfect example is you maybe needed or used to need that i7, where now really that i5 is going to perform at the i7 range, but it's also going to be much less as far as cost goes. So as far as that goes, it looks much different. I mean, you can get an i3 now that's going to perform at an i5, a few years back. So you no longer need to be throwing all this money at maybe the CPU. You could maybe throw it at more memory, a better graphics card, storage, something like that. And I mean, really everything is just, core count, we talked about that earlier, is just extreme. 8th gen came out, they finally introduced 6 cores, which really had never happened on their, consumer standard CPUs. And now that's just the norm. Now we're seeing 8, 10 cores with this new lineup, which is crazy. And they all have high clock rates, hyper threading, and it's pretty crazy to see that kind of performance and the value that you're getting with these new chips.